So we got some breaking news here with the Big Ten and their media rights deal, and I feel like there might be something else afoot. Things might be afoot this morning.
Oh, boy.
Well, we had a series of tweets that came out. It started with a Brett McMurphy tweeting out the Big Ten media deal would be announced this morning. Then Sam Farmer of the LA Times tweeted out big news concerning UCLA and USC coming in a moment. Then everybody broke the Big Ten media rights deal, which I'm not sure how much the fans care about. I think there are things in there that the fans care about, and we'll get to those in a minute. If you're Sam Farmer, reporter for the LA Times, would you send that tweet out if it was about the Big Ten media rights? Because there's starting to be some rumblings of perhaps some pushback over the, well, at least in UCLA's case, of them joining the B1G. So do you think those two were related, or do you think something else is brewing out west?
It feels like if it was a media rights thing, he would have already followed up with the media rights deal. Has he done that?
He tweeted out 43 minutes ago, big news concerning UCLA and USC coming in a moment. Then 35 minutes ago, the media deal has landed with the link to the story.
Okay, so maybe he was referencing the media deal, but I know your antenna's perked up because you think this could be bigger.
Yeah, look, there was a story yesterday about the University of California leadership system, their regents, and remember, there's 10 campuses here. There's a story that the regents have told UCLA, not so fast. Now, when this story broke and we started settling into UCLA and USC joining the B1G, I said on the air, and I've said a couple of times since, in the back of my mind, I can't shake the feeling that this will never happen. As much as it seems ironclad, and they did it cloak and dagger, under the darkness of night, managed to get this done in one of the most, like, literally best kept secrets in sports media ever, because a tweet came out at like 1:30 on a Tuesday, and at 2:15 they announced it. And when the tweet came out, everybody was like, okay, whatever. Because the tweet was from a reporter out west that said USC and UCLA to the Big Ten be announced later. And everyone was like, all right, who is this guy? But then you saw Dan Wetzel of Yahoo Sports retweet it. You saw Pat Forty retweet it. You saw all these college football writers kind of giving it credibility. And so we had left the air by the time it went official. The next day we get on the air, and I said, in the back of my mind, I'm not sure this is ever going to happen. Well, now, in what might be a power struggle, the regents were asked, can you block this move? They did a Q&A yesterday, and one of the University of California system regents said, all things are on the table. And I'm starting to wonder, because, look, I'm going to embrace it if it happens. I'm not sure I want it to happen because of the overall health of college football. Even though I think it's great for the B1G, it's great for Michigan and Michigan State, I don't think it's great for the health of college football. I'm not sure I want it to happen, and I still wonder if it ever will.
Well, okay, let's play the game, because the Big Ten media deal is $7 to $8 billion with escalators, and I'm assuming the escalators are for when UCLA and USC officially join the conference. That would take it up to, is it $10 billion?
Yeah.
So that is still in limbo from a media rights standpoint. USC is in, right? I mean, there's no scuttlebutt about them leaving. If UCLA were to be forced out by their regents, could USC say, fine, who else from the Pac-12 wants a golden ticket? Stanford, would you like to join? We have a rivalry with you and a front row seat to $10 billion. Sorry, UCLA, train's leaving. Either you're on or you're out.
So
we can still schedule UCLA in a non-conference every year. We don't need them.
See, that to me would be worse, because I've mentioned how I think one of the great appeals, at least it is for me, of college football is rivalries. Is these long-standing great games that I will turn on and watch.
You still
every
get them, though.
Single year.
I don't think this question.
Hold on. Not if USC leaves and UCLA stays.
They can still play each other, Doug. They got 12 games.
They won't. It's just like Nebraska and Oklahoma could keep playing each other, and they do a non-conference schedule like every 15 years. So every time one of these rivalries gets killed, a little bit of college football soul dies. And there's a lot of short-term money grabs going on right now that feel great in the moment. Huge windfall in the moment. I'm worried about the long-term consequences of slowly eroding some of the things that separates college football from professional football and make college football great for me.
Okay. Pro football is the most popular sport in the country.
It is.
So being more like the most popular thing is probably good for the sport. I mean, we can agree to disagree on that, but being like the most popular thing in the country is probably a winning strategy. I don't want to lose what makes college football. And when you had the report of USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten, I don't view that as losing anything, really. You have those two schools, which would then join the Big Ten, where they already have some historical rivalries. Remember, they play in the Rose Bowl every year, so that's still intact. And it really has become a kill or be killed kind of sport. When Oklahoma and Texas join the SEC, you have a choice. Kill or be killed. Do you want to compete with them? Do you want to sign rich media rights deals and challenge them? Or do you want to say, we have our tradition, but we don't ever play for anything of consequence? And that's a tough...
There are ways to do all of that, compete with the SEC, without going out to the West Coast, grabbing two schools that are not even close to contiguously to the Big Ten country, grabbing them. There are other ways that can be accomplished. So I'm not against expansion, but I am against eroding a conference like the Pac-12. And, if the Pac-12 reaches a deal with the Big 12 and can make some sort of strong conference there, I'm okay with it. But there are other ways to accomplish what you said, and I'm okay with that. But, college football needed a makeover, and it's gone to major reconstructive surgery. And again, not sure all this was necessary. We'll find out over time. Mm-hmm. Look, am I being a bit of a devil's advocate, dissenting voice? A little bit, but I actually am concerned that the erosion of what makes college football great. Because you know what? College football is not going to compete with the NFL. They're not going to become the NFL on par with the NFL, but they've got their place, and their place they have is pretty damn good.
So is your objection regionality? Because that went out the window. West Virginia's in the Big 12. We've lost that. Cabin pressure's gone.
I'm against that too, right? West Virginia in the ACC makes all the sense in the world.
But the toothpaste is out of the tube, so you can choose to pretend that it's not happening, and I'm proud of the Big Ten for not.